India Global. I'm Gauri Dwivedi. Over the course of the next 30 minutes, I'll get you all the stories that matter to the global Indian. First up, as always, we start with the headlines. Electric vehicle giant Tesla makes its India debut with opening of its first showroom in Mumbai. The first India showroom opens its doors in Bandra Kurla complex, New Delhi. Showroom on the anvil. India's space heroes homecoming as Indian astronaut Shubhanshu Shukla set for a splashdown. Historic day for Shukla and Indian space. India-US trade deal gains momentum ahead of the Trump deadline of 1st of August. Indian team in the US to give fresh push to a bilateral trade deal. As Commerce Minister says that trade negotiations are happening at a fast pace. Shocker comes to light from Canada, where Khalistanis allegedly throw eggs at devotees during the Rath Yatra in Toronto. Once again, Mark Carney is silent. Possible downturn for world's second largest economy as China growth slumps to 5.2% as US tariffs threat looms large. Consumers in China tighten their belt as domestic demand slumps. And nominees for the 77th Emmy Awards set to be unveiled soon. This breaking news coming in on the broadcast, let's address that, which is there's still hope for Nimisha Priya. She's the Malayali nurse facing execution in Yemen. Talks are gaining momentum with just hours left to save her life. Indian Grand Mufti Kantapuram AP has stepped in, working through top Yemeni scholar Sheikh Habib Umar. There's a key meeting that is taking place with the victim's family. So there is hope as far as the nurse Nimisha Priya is concerned, facing execution in Yemen. Let's get in Mohammad Ghazali, who's been tracking this story, for more details on this. Ghazali, fill us in. What are the possibilities right now? What is the hope that we'll be able to ensure that Nimisha Priya is not executed?
See, Gauri, this entire case has happened in an area which is a tribal area in Yemen, and this issue has taken over like as a tribal pride because Nimisha Priya is not Yemeni. She is an Indian. Her entire trial happened in Arabic language. She was not even given translator, and all the options of getting her a pardon has exhausted, be it the blood money, be it asking the family in goodwill to at least pardon her, has not worked in the past, in the recent past. And tomorrow is her execution day. We are picking up that even the government of India, through the embassy in Saudi Arabia, as well as the Grand Mufti of India, Mr. Abu Bakr, he has contacted one of his known friends in Yemen, in Sana'a area, who has contacted the family and the local tribal leaders to ensure that Nimisha Priya is given pardon. If that comes in the exchange of blood money or that comes in exchange of anything, is something which has been put forward as a condition in the discussion, which has started just like a couple of hours ago in Yemen. So it is expected that perhaps for the first time family has been contacted, and the tribal leaders and another cleric who was contacted by our Grand Mufti from Kerala, he has assured that there will be positive indications from the meeting, there will be positive conclusions from the meeting, and perhaps she may not be executed tomorrow.
Right, we're going to keep coming back, viewers, as far as Nimisha Priya is concerned. The possibility that her execution could be stayed is very much on the anvil. That's the breaking news, and we're going to keep coming back as there are updates with regards to her case. Now, I'm shifting focus to one of the biggest stories that we are tracking on the show. Tesla's long-awaited India debut begun with a showroom launch in Mumbai. Years and years of negotiations, lots of back and forth between the Indian government and Elon Musk and his company. That included tariff hurdles, that included strategic and led to strategic delays. Finally, Tesla is making a bold move into India with its first ever experience center opening in Mumbai's Bandra Kurla complex. The store will showcase its most popular model, which is Y. It's priced at about 60 lakh rupees. Of course, it's catering to the luxury EV market segment, not the regular market of EVs, which is catered to by some of the Desi brands that includes Tata Motors. Tata Motors is actually an international brand as well. Likewise, M&M also. Now, after this grand opening in Mumbai, the next showroom is set to be opened in Delhi soon. Now, this report tells you, viewers, Tesla's journey into India. As I said, this is not something that happened overnight. Since 2015, Tesla has been eyeing the Indian market, but the negotiations were stalled because India wanted to impose and is still imposing heavy duties, while Tesla wanted that they should be cut, even though it did not commit to any local manufacturing. Take a look at this report that tells you more on that story.
Tesla's India story reads like a saga of ambition, delays, and now arrival. Back in 2016, Tesla began taking Model 3 pre-orders in India, but high import duties, reported 200% tariffs, made launch unfeasible. Some early customers have now got their refunds. In 2021, Tesla formally registered an entity in Bengaluru, signaling intent. Well, talks began about launching models via CBU route, but no local plant. By 22-23, talks turned to a $2 to $3 billion factory investment. But Tesla pushed back, frustrated by India's insistence on local production as the price for reduced import duties. Fast forward to July 2025 and Tesla finally makes its formal debut. Not with a factory, but with a Mumbai showroom. It opens on July 15, that is today, in Bandra Kurla complex, and will be followed soon by a second in Delhi NCR. Tesla has also imported around $1 million worth of vehicles and gear to India, including Model Y SUVs and superchargers from its US and China factories, despite a steep 70% import duty. This makes the Indian price significantly higher than international markets. The company has also begun hiring India-based staff, right from store managers to autopilot engineers, but remains firmly in retail mode, with no current plans for local manufacturing. But what's next? Well, Tesla's arrival unlocks India's potential as the world's third largest auto market, though high prices and the absence of localized production pose fresh challenges. Whether demand can match expectations, that remains to be seen. But one thing's clear: Tesla is here, even if not the way dreamers once hoped.
All right, Mukta Mishra, who's the auto editor at NDTV, joins me from the Tesla showroom in Bandra Kurla complex. Mukta, I can see a big grin on your face as all auto lovers are looking forward or have been looking forward to this day for a while. Walk us through, how do you think Tesla's entry into India is likely to reshape the EV landscape here?
Well, Tesla is a big brand. It's a brand that even if you don't follow auto, you would definitely know about Tesla. As they popularly say, that they are not a car company, they are not an EV company, they are a tech company which makes cars and are extremely popular at that. So even the brand itself holds a lot of value. Now, come to think of it, India needs Tesla as much as Tesla needs India, and that's because if you look at how Tesla's performance has been over the last couple of quarters, then you would realize that their sales have been coming down, specifically in Europe and China too. They are facing stiff competition from incumbent players. So India offers a great opportunity, a big market, especially for their upcoming product, which is Model Q. They have launched Model Y, and that is very well suited for India, considering it's an SUV, which augurs well for our roads. But I think for Model Q also it can be very interesting, because that's a smaller EV product, a more mass market product, and India can be a big market for that product.
All right, I'm going to leave it there. Mukta Mishra, auto editor at NDTV, joining us for that lowdown. And viewers, while we await and look at how EV landscape in India is set to change, let me put out those big questions that we are hopeful that we will be able to get answers to in due course of time. Because as we've been saying, a lot of what happened today has been in the offing for some time now, which is why the first question, when will Tesla actually start producing in India? This has been the thorniest issue. It doesn't produce, and all those Tesla EVs are actually going to be imported into India from China, the Shanghai Gigafactory, or could be Berlin as well. The next question, will the Musk-Trump feud have an impact as far as Tesla's global plans are concerned? Donald Trump is on record saying that he wants investments to come into US, and with factories being set up outside, could that further intensify the Trump-Musk feud? And would Elon Musk like to not dial up on that animosity factor between him and the president? Third, why did Elon Musk not come for the India launch? It was supposed to be this big bang launch. Hasn't been so. Elon Musk did meet Prime Minister Modi this year, which has paved the way for the showroom to be opened, but he hasn't come in. Again, because he has sensibilities in the US political landscape that he wants to address as well. And lastly, which is probably the larger issue that Indian policymakers and Indian users are looking forward to, which is, when is it that India can actually become that big EV hub where we take care of the entire ecosystem, from batteries to manufacturing to having the local ecosystem in place? Those are big questions. Hopefully, we'll be speaking on that sooner than later as the Tesla launch sets the pace for what is set to be an exciting journey ahead. Shifting focus, a major leap forward for India's infrastructure, which is the Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed rail project, is all set to introduce the next generation E10 Shinkansen trains at the same time as Japan. And this milestone not only marks a tech breakthrough, but also highlights the growing strategic partnership between India and Japan. Built entirely with Japanese Shinkansen technology, renowned worldwide for its safety, speed, and reliability, the MASSR corridor will soon see trains that are truly world-class. The E10 model promises cutting-edge features for passenger comfort, superior aerodynamics, earthquake resilience, and energy efficiency. Shifting focus now to the trade negotiations between India and US that have been in the works for some time, even as a deal is yet to be concluded. Now, the top-level Indian delegation has landed in Washington for continuation of those negotiations. Well, the clock is ticking. Just 50 days left before the US could reimpose several of those steep tariffs on India, and more so in the category of steel and aluminium, as well as auto companies. Led by Commerce Ministry officials and Chief Negotiator Rajesh Agarwal, India is hopeful that there could be some sort of a breakthrough, even as its no-go areas remain the same, which is agriculture and dairy. In return, India wants tariff relief when it comes to several of its labor-intensive areas. That includes textiles, that includes footwear, that includes toys, and several others. Now, the ambition is to have that $500 billion bilateral trade between two sides, but that requires a give and take. And for that to happen, some sort of an interim deal is likely to be signed. In fact, it could just be an agreement of several areas, which may be packaged as an interim deal, with a final one likely to be finalized only next year. I want to play out this soundbite of Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal, who says that talks are on even as finality of a trade deal is yet to be sealed.
I've often said trade negotiations are not done on camera with the media. They are done between two nations, and negotiations are going on at a very fast pace and in the spirit of mutual cooperation, so that we can come out with a win-win trade complementing agreement with the United States.
All right, a quick break. We return with more stories, including eggs hurled at the Rath Yatra in Toronto. We come back and talk more on that and several other stories. Stay with us. Viewers, turning attention now to a horrific case that has come to light in Canada. Yet again, it seems that Hindu festivals are being targeted, are being attacked. India has in fact slammed this despicable and regrettable act. Now, what has happened, viewers? Eggs were hurled at devotees during the 53rd Rath Yatra in Toronto on the 11th of July. External Affairs Ministry has condemned the attack, called it shameful disruption of a peaceful spiritual procession that promotes unity. Now, the eggs were allegedly thrown from a residential building as ISKCON devotees sang bhajans in the streets. Videos show the aftermath, which is those smashed eggs on the road. But the devotees marched on. Now, why is it that this particular festival was targeted? And now, in fact, on this, former Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik has also stepped in. He urged strong action, saying it deeply hurt the religious sentiments of all those who participate in this Rath Yatra. And why is it that it's becoming a recurring thing as far as Canada is concerned? I want to put out those big questions that I'm putting forth on this story. Once again, a shocker of a story coming to light from Canada. First up, are Hindu festivals now easy targets in Canada? Are they the soft targets where you can throw eggs, you can disrupt anything, and then carry on as if nothing is going to happen? Second key question, is Mark Carney just another Trudeau repeat? What is it that the current Prime Minister of Canada has done to be able to arrest this repeated trend that continues, Canada's case streak that isn't ending? Third, the Khalistani terror, does it reign supreme in Canada? Is it above the law that nobody, no political party is able to rein in these Khalistani terrorists? Last and equally and most important, which is the India-Canada relationship. It is still in the process of recovering from the nadir it hit last year under Justin Trudeau. But for it to recover, such instances cannot continue. Will this hit the India-Canada ties that are still in the process of recovery? Let's get in my colleague Maha Siddiqui, who's reporting live from Canada, to tell us and answer some of these questions, viewers.
India issued a strong statement after vandals tried to disrupt the Jagannath Rath Yatra in Toronto in Canada. India called the act despicable and said that it had taken up the issue with the Canadian authorities. The devotees of the Rath Yatra said that eggs were thrown at them from a building as they were passing through a residential neighborhood in Toronto. Some of the devotees made videos of the aftermath of the eggs being thrown at them and uploaded them on social media, and that's how it came to the notice of the authorities. The devotees claimed that these attacks were racist and xenophobic in nature and they should be investigated in that light. When these videos were uploaded, there were varied reactions from people. While most of them called this incident unfortunate and sad, there were others who said religious activities should be confined to homes or designated religious areas like temples, mosques, gurudwaras and churches, and that they should not spill over on the streets. ISKCON, that conducts the Jagannath Rath Yatra, has often said that these processions can be loud because of the chanting by the devotees. Meanwhile, in the past, we have seen certain incidents of vandalism or attempted violence during religious activities of the Indian community, and it has caused friction between the two countries, that is India and Canada, and therefore both countries tread carefully when it comes to issues of this nature. In Vancouver, this is Maha Siddiqui for NDTV.
Bottom line, viewers, is that this time there are no excuses left. Justin Trudeau is gone. The apologist era is over. And Mark Carney, well, he needs to know that the world is watching and so is India. And will Canada finally act? Or is this just a new face on the same silence? Now, Hindu temples have been defaced. Processions have been attacked. Khalistani mobs roam free, immune, emboldened and unchecked. Well, viewers, it is straight up hate that is weaponized, exported and now being normalized. India has spoken and the diaspora is done asking. Prime Minister Mark Carney, this is your moment. Break from the past, draw the line, or Canada remains complicit. Now, turning attention to another important story, which is that of Fauja Singh, the iconic runner, marathoner who earned the tag of world's oldest marathoner. He's died at the age of 114 in a road accident on Monday. Known as Turbaned Tornado, a global icon for defying age and limitations, he died at a hospital after a road accident in Jalandhar district on Monday evening. He was struck by an unidentified vehicle while out for a walk in his native village in Punjab's Jalandhar district. He was immediately rushed to a private hospital but succumbed to his injuries. He was born in 1911 in Jalandhar. He only started running at the age of 89, viewers. Condolences have been pouring in from around the world, across the country, and he was a global symbol of resilience and healthy aging. Let's say, in fact, Prime Minister Modi has expressed grief, called him extraordinary for the way he inspired Indians to embrace running, to embrace fitness.
हमारे देश के लिए वो बहुत एक हमारे सभी के मैं समझता हूँ एक सुपरस्टार थे 114 साल जिंदगी के व्यतीत किए और डिसिप्लिनरी थे सबसे बड़ी बात है ही हैड अ वेरी वेरी डिसिप्लिन लाइफ तो वो फौजा सिंह जी का जाना सारे देश के लिए और वर्ल्ड ओवर मैं समझता हूँ मैराथन रनर थे इस एज में इस लेट एज में जब आप लास्ट मोमेंट तक आपको हेल्थ की ज़रूरत डॉक्टर्स की ज़रूरत होती है अभी तक अनफॉर्चुनेटली ही पास्ड अवे इन अ रोड एक्सीडेंट तो मैं समझता हूँ बहुत बड़ा नेशनल लॉस है
The 2025 Emmy nominations are set to be announced. The nominees in 2 categories, Best Talk Series, Reality Competition Series, will be announced soon. Nominees in other major categories will be released via live stream on the Emmys website and TV Academy's YouTube channel. The announcement delivered by actors Harvey Kullian, who's from What We Do in the Shadows, and Brenda Song of Running Point, and Television Academy Chair Chris Abrigo will take place live from the Wolf Theatre at the Academy's Saban Media Centre. And viewers, we now take a look and get you details of Shubhanshu Shukla's homecoming. In fact, it's just a couple of hours when Shubhanshu Shukla will land at the Pacific through his splashdown and complete his homecoming. Shubhanshu Shukla's maiden space journey to the International Space Station has set in motion India's roadmap with regard to its space journey. India has an ambitious space roadmap with the Gaganyaan set to be in 2027, India's first crewed mission and manned space mission flight. And ahead of that, Shubhanshu Shukla's learnings, lessons and feedback will be a huge lesson for India's space mission. And let's in fact listen in to what Shubhanshu Shukla had to say just before he started his journey towards India.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Can you show us how accustomed to microgravity you are? Is a little experiment you could do for us? Just going to float away and go get the things. That's fine.
Showing up on his astronaut tricks. So, but we've got something we want to show you.
Okay.
Proves we're in microgravity. In case you didn't believe my necklace or flying off the ceiling, we got other things to prove we're in zero gravity. And we're going to do this little thing with water.
Sonia, I've become a water bender here in the station, and I've been with this, so you have to see this.
Oh.
So you can see the water forms a ball in zero gravity because the surface tension of the water itself is actually much stronger. Now that we don't have gravity up here, it actually holds it together. He's got this little
tool.
It's a water bubble moving tool. I can actually bring this we can bring closer. If I can find the
look at that. It's like we're looking at a clear marble, but it's actually a liquid.
Yep.
Is that a bubble inside there?
Yes.
Wow.
A bubble inside a water bubble. I told you I have a water bender.
So you really have acclimated beautifully.
Yes.
With that, it's a wrap with this edition of India Global. Thanks so much for watching.